Welcome back to Cinema d'Amore. I am your host, Justin Morgan, and I'm here with two guests today, Grant and Tim.
Hi, I'm Grant Mayotte.
I'm Tobias.
And these are professionals in the film industry. Grant was a critic at one point. I've worked on an Academy Award-winning film, actually.
There you go.
I got Fences under my belt.
There you go.
Lucky.
Viola Davis. She did all the hard work, but I have that.
Mm-hmm.
I was really, really hardworking in the basement on that one, too.
Well, they're very proud of the Emmy that they won for the stunt ensemble on The Boys. So when I worked on The Boys, the Emmy just sat around the office.
At least you got to see an Emmy. I didn't get to see one for The Pit, even though we did win.
It is Oscar related too, because that's what this episode's about. It's about the 98th Academy Awards, which you know because that's what it says. You're looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
I looked this up last year because our buddy here, Tim, he's done some competitions for screenwriting. He's won awards and they make him pay for the award. And I was like, that kind of sounds like a scam. I wonder how the bigger competitions end up doing that. A lot of them, the Academy Awards is one of them. They only allot up to like a certain amount of trophies. If you were thinking about SAG, like Ensemble Cast or something, and they won, and you wanted to give everybody an award, you buy them separately. That's how it works.
Yeah.
They're not cheap.
No, they are not. I won 4, but I only bought 3 out of the 4. They were $200 each, so I spent $600 on 3 different ones. But it was worth it because I'm literally looking at them right now. I'm looking at them so proud they're right next to my TV.
Are they plaques?
No, they're the statuettes.
Do you plan to be buried when you die, Tim?
Yes, I do.
Do you want them buried with you?
I don't want them buried with me. I want my kids to have them whenever I have children.
You're very ambitious, Tim.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Academy Awards, Conan O'Brien's hosting again. I just saw a thing earlier today where he was talking about how he's been showing up surprise comedy clubs and things and working on his Oscars material.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like, I don't know how many people do that. I would feel some of these people probably just practice in front of the mirror and said, fuck it, I learned my lines of going out there. And he's out there being like, does this work? Is this funny?
Maybe this hasn't happened before, but like he is technically part of a nominated film, right? I mean, Rose Byrne is up for a nomination and he's in the movie, so I wonder how often that's actually ever happened where the Oscar host has actually been part of a film that's nominated in the current year.
I think it's happened a few times. I feel like that weird year with James Franco and Anne Hathaway.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I feel like it has happened. Usually in the Academy Awards, I don't know if it's every category. Maybe it's just the actors, the previous best actors come out to present the awards for the next one.
Yeah.
I don't know like how they pick some of those people, but there usually is like somebody up there presenting an award that's also nominated for an award.
Yeah, that's very common. I think the Academy just released their final list of presenters today, actually.
See, it pays. Because last year when we recorded a month ahead of time. We're doing the same thing that we did last year with our predictions, but it's a lot better to get a little bit closer.
Yeah.
And kind of helps you get a little guess because it does depend to a degree how other award shows are going, but not always entirely. There's still some that are very volatile categories where it could go any which way.
I think we have that problem this year. I think that's what makes it exciting.
Yeah.
Let's jump into it.
We're going to go through every Best Picture nominee. We're just going to discuss those films as a whole, the other categories that they're in, and then we're going to move into our predictions. I'm just going alphabetical because that's the way that I have it here.
Yeah.
Out of the 10 nominations, the first one's Begonia, which is a sci-fi thing from Yorgos Lanthimos.
I guess we're going to just assume that people who listen to this have seen Begonia. Kind of hard to talk about the movie and not have spoilers, right?
Yeah, I'm going to have chapters on the episodes. Hopefully they have the ability to just hit skip and go to the next movie if they want to. Begonia is a remake of the 2003 South Korean movie Save the Green Planet, which oddly, when I went to theaters to see Begonia, it was about a couple steps into that movie and I go, oh shit, this is the remake. I didn't realize that I was already on the remake. I literally just bought the movie. So our next 2 episodes of the podcast are conveniently going to be Save the Green Planet and Begonia.
Nice.
They're going to be two separate episodes, but I would just kind of like to compare how it is. Because I'm the weirdo that saw the remake one of the few times that that's happened, where I saw the remake before the original. Usually, even if it was a remake and I hadn't seen the original, I'd seek the original out first, because I like to do that with adaptations too. Hurry up and try to read the book before the movie comes out, because I find it really interesting how they decide what to cut and how to adapt it. For Begonia, I can't 100% tell you where the changes are, but it definitely sounds very close to the little bit that I had heard about it. Did either of you see the original?
No.
No.
It's up for Best Picture, Actress for Emma Stone, Adapted Screenplay, Score. Did you both see the movie?
Yes.
Yep.
Personally, I don't really think that it's going to win any of its categories. I do like the characters. I do like the shots. I do like Lanthimos a lot. A lot of his stuff starts to kind of come off very similar.
Yeah.
He seems to keep things interesting, I think. He knows how long to keep his movie going. I like the character. I don't know if this guy is an actor, but the guy that played the cousin of
Donnie was great. Donnie was amazing. What a great casting choice.
Mhm.
Yeah. If he's an actor, awesome. I don't know where they found the guy. He is very, very good.
I was just getting total George Steinbeck of Mice and Men. Like I loved it. I thought he was great. I'm sad for Plemons because he actually, I think, as great as Emma is, he really deserves to be here instead of her, perhaps. And he won Best Actor at Cannes, and he's so committed to that performance. He's just totally dialed in, and I just really, really admired that performance a lot from him.
I agree 100%. Plemons is just a phenomenal actor. He's great in everything that he is in. For him not to get nominated and Emma to get nominated, I was upset with that. Emma, she's had her time. She's won 2 Oscars now. I think it was Jesse's time in a way. I think we're going to see more great stuff out of him. With Yorgos, he's just a brilliant filmmaker in general, and this story was amazing. And I didn't even know it was an original.
Is that how you usually think? You think when it comes to the awards, you're more focused on who deserves it from their whole body of work that they've put in? Does that tend to be where you come from?
When it comes to actors, I want the actor to captivate me and suck me into the film. For example, J.K. Simmons, Whiplash. I wanted to hate his character so bad. And that's what he gave me. I'm like, I want to hate you and I want to punch you in the face. But I'm also scared at you at the same time.
Why violence, Tim?
Well, I'm just saying he was an asshole in Whiplash. That's how you know that they are doing their job as an actor, as a performer.
Emma is so convincing that she's not an alien. I don't think she's less deserving of the nomination because she is really kind of playing with your mind the whole time you're watching that performance.
Mm-hmm.
She is very compelling in that she is not an alien.
Yeah.
They're all good. This movie gives us the answer, but I do love those crazy movies where it's sort of like the movie Doubt with Philip Seymour Hoffman. They give you enough of the characters' perspectives that it could go either way. They tend to be very convincing both ways.
Yeah.
There's parts where Jesse Plemons seems crazy, and then there's parts where he seems really spot on with an observation that he made. He'll be crazy or, I cut off all your hair because they were antennas, to something like, I noticed that you did this and that's not actually very normal. And as an audience, you're like, yeah, you did pick up on that, but she could absolutely be a person that you're going to murder because of a hunch. And in today's time, it's also very kind of scary because you have a lot of the conspiracy theorist people who do their own research. And that's exactly who Plemons' character comes off as.
Yeah.
He's definitely not the most reliable person. And like you said, his cousin Donnie, who's like his second to follow through with this plan with him, he's definitely just seems like, I love my cousin. I'll just do whatever he wants. He didn't really have to do much to convince that person. So for that reason, I definitely think that screenplay-wise, the story-wise, it is really well done. I just think it's got some steep competition, and I don't think it's going to get it this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree 100%. With Emma in that film and Jesse at that film, they were casted amazingly together. This movie was made for both of them. They were both tremendous stars in this film. Like, Emma did her job by convincing us that she's not an alien, but I think Jesse was really holding it the whole film together for me.
Also, and it probably was legitimately written for them because
Yeah.
he's worked with them a few times.
Right.
Unless for some reason he was like, this is going to be a different character because,
Right.
what was it, Kinds of Kindness? They were both in that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a horrible film.
Was he in Poor Things?
No.
No, he wasn't in Poor Things. Emma was.
I know he's been with Emma for The Favorite on, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Plemons just showed up in Kinds of Kindness and that was his first one, but unsure.
Yeah.
Our second movie is F1, the movie. It's the best picture with the least amount of nominations. It's just this and sound. I have problems with this movie. I think it has sound in the bag. I think it does have that.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And editing.
I think technically this is a very good movie.
Yeah.
For me personally, I didn't care for the characters. It was more plot driven than anything else. I like the technical aspect of it, though. I thought some of the camera stuff was pretty cool. I do find it interesting that a lot of the Academy Award movies for the technical stuff always goes back to these Grand Prix. The Grand Prix from the 60s is one of the first movies where they strapped cameras onto these cars. If you want to watch F1 now, they have so many GoPros all over those cars. They get every single angle covered, and we're just used to seeing it all the time. That movie was an experience because, and it also won sound for the Academy Awards. People the first time being like, oh shit, this is what it looks like. This is what it feels like to be in one of these Formula One cars. This is also very similar to that, where they used Lewis Hamilton as producer and he was in there actually being like, this is what I hear in this moment. And this is what this sounds like from this perspective. It is a very much an experience film of kind of feeling what it would be like to be in one of those vehicles during those races.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with you, Justin. I really admire the film for the ingenuity. I mean, they did stuff with the cameras that had never been done before. People can read about it online about how they strap these cameras to different parts of the cars. And I just find that anytime we're kind of elevating the craft and moving things forward, I'm a big fan of that. We need to have space for the indies and independents, but this is like representing Hollywood blockbuster in the best kind of way. It's a very flashy, expensive film, and I'm just glad to see it represented. I saw it in IMAX over the summer and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I know a lot of people shit on it when it got nominated, but I think it took so much craftsmanship to make it what it was. So I'm an admirer.
I 100% agree with Grant, Justin. When I went to go see this film, you and I were on season 4 of Kingstown together. You asked me, oh, what did I think of the film? And I told you, I think it's one of the best films of the year. I don't think it's going to win Best Picture this year because I do not think that at all. It captivated me so well. It sucked me into the film when I'm listening to sound and watching the film when it comes to editing. I want you to suck me into the film. I want to feel like I am there, and F1 completely did that for me. I forgot I was watching a film. I thought I was watching the race itself, and just hearing what it was like to be there in that element, they do a fantastic job. And like Grant was saying before, you can watch TikTok videos on the filming of F1 too. And I admire that of what they were trying to do as well. That's my pinpoint on F1.
It wasn't just the cheese aspect that killed me. Like,
Right.
what you doing? He's flying. I'm like, oh my God, what is this line? They put a lot of exposition to explain that sport into the commentators. And I know that you can't alienate your audience. You can't be like, we made the F1 movie. If you don't fucking understand it, too bad. Although we're going to get into it eventually. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a ping pong movie, but they don't really explain the rules of ping pong in that.
No, they don't. They really don't.
There'd be plenty of you're like, I just don't understand the sport. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. When it comes to like the races, I was rooting for Brad Pitt and everything, but story-wise, I'm kind of like you, Justin. The story wasn't like 100% there for me. Did I have sympathy at the end? Absolutely. But I want to have sympathy throughout the whole story.
Yeah, and it kind of has like a Rocky thing too, where he wins the race. He doesn't necessarily win the championship or anything like that. And
Right.
the whole thing is is him fighting against his age, which has to be very close to Lewis Hamilton's heart, who is oldest in the sport. Years ago, I'm pretty sure they were like 60-year-olds racing, but now it's like everybody's super young, and it's like almost like football or something where he's 41, 42, and they're like, you're aging out of it. I'm sorry that it's rough to hear at our age that, but yeah, they're like, he can't do it anymore. Because those guys, there are incredible shots of people dodging other car. They have super fast reflexes, which is also an important thing that they bring up in the movie, where they do all the stuff with them doing the neck training and stuff so that they can take the G's and stuff without passing out. It is a very real thing. Like, I've seen funny videos of one of the drivers where he was low down his cake. The owner tried to push his head into the cake and he couldn't do it. Yeah, that guy has the strongest neck out of any person in the world. You think that you're going to just knock him into the cake.
You can't hate this movie too much because Carrie Condon's in it.
I don't hate this movie. I'm a solid, it's a good, okay movie.
Yeah.
I lean more towards liking it than hating it.
Yeah.
It's not like a 1-star movie. It's been a very long time since I've watched a movie that got nominated for Best Picture that I thought was just absolutely atrocious. It was Les Mis.
Hey, don't talk shit on Les Mis. You can talk crap about one person in particular, Russell Crowe, but don't talk shit about the whole
movie.
movie.
Taking that whole movie down.
Hey, he took stars away from me, but not the rest of the film.
Speaking of stars, what did you think about the stars in Frankenstein? Our next movie, Del Toro's dream, his I don't know if it's his magnum opus, but it's definitely his biggest passion project that he's had. 9 Academy Awards.
Yeah, I think Frankenstein's going to
put them all down, but yeah, they're mostly technical craft.
Yeah, I think Frankenstein's going to do really well on the crafts. I think in recent years where we've seen some of like the hair and costume split, there was like that whole thing with Barbie, remember? I think Frankenstein's going to do really well. I think it's going to clean house and the below the line crafts. I wanted to love this more. I actually I was on a show, and just across we were at Pinewood here in Toronto, and just across the back alley was where they were filming Frankenstein at the same time. And Victor's lab, that set was just literally across from my office. So I saw Christoph coming up, and so on forth. But I wanted to love this so much more, but to me, it left me very cold, and it felt so similar to Shape of Water in so many ways. Even the production design felt very similar to me. And so I don't know. I wanted to love it so much more than I did. But yeah, I admire everything that went into it,
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. It's a beautiful looking movie.
Yeah.
But it just, to me, something about it felt off. Like, I don't think it was better than Pan's Labyrinth. I really don't think that it was better than The Shape of Water, like you said. I thought that was a way more interesting twist. But he's obviously a twist on the character of the creature of the Black Lagoon. But this is very faithful to the book. And I honestly, there's so many adaptations of Frankenstein that I think this might be the only one where in the book he's an intelligent being instead of like a mindless creature.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that made this movie the most interesting story-wise for me, was actually getting to see, him, like, he's introduced very much like a monster, but sit down with the captain and be like, I'm going to explain my story to you.
Yeah. And for me, I feel like I'm the total opposite of you guys. The first time I read the book was my junior year of high school, and I read it 2 years in a row in the same class in English, and I admired the book. And then when I heard that Del Toro was making an adaptation of Frankenstein, I'm like, this is the perfect director, writer to do an adaptation of Frankenstein. And like, even on the cover, it's the same tone of Del Toro, of just the way that he is with that gothic energy. And I think it was made
I've
for
always
him.
got that gothic energy.
He does. And you know, not a lot of people can pull that off. Like him and Tim Burton are the perfect examples of a gothic film. And with Del Toro, I'm just gonna say it because this is how I felt when the nominations came out. I felt Del Toro was snubbed for Best Director. I thought he did an amazing job and everything. And looking at the more, I know we'll get into it later and everything with Best Director and all the categories. But for me, I just felt like he was snubbed because I feel like he did an amazing job as long as including with these actors that he's had. And you can tell he's been wanting to do this for a very, very long time. And I've just feel that way. And I feel like it will take a few awards, including the technical stuff as well, like mainly costume, production design, and stuff like that. But I loved Frankenstein and Justin is Silent.
I didn't love it. I just thought it was well made, and
Hmm.
I do feel like
Yeah.
Del Toro is definitely the man for that job, especially
Hmm.
if he's been dreaming about doing this since he was a child.
Hmm.
I think he liked, what is it, Spirit of the Beehive, where that movie's all based around like a movie theater where they're watching Frankenstein. And but also that's what kind of like bothers me is like he's doing a lot of adaptations. Like I thought his Pinocchio was great.
Hmm.
And I think he's doing like Phantom of the Opera next. And I'm like, let this guy, I mean, hopefully he wants to do Phantom of the Opera.
I
Because
hope he better do Phantom of the Opera. I can't see anyone else doing Phantom but him.
or you'll
Honestly,
get something like you brought up Tim Burton. You'll get something like him where like Disney kidnaps him and
you know
makes him
what?
make like 100 Alice in Wonderlands and Dumbos and
That's fair, but at the same time, like you can't really you can compare them in a way because they're both like gothic directors and everything. But they're like two separate things, you know, because Del Toro likes to stay true to what the book and what the story is. Tim Burton will turn anything gothic. Like you just said, Alice in Wonderland. It did not need to be gothic. And I also felt like Dumbo was a little gothic in its own way, which I did not like at all. And it did not stay actually
he
true.
was a bit of a goth elephant.
Yeah, you know? But some people
Uh
wanted that apparently.
Shakespeare, Hamnet.
I want to start this off with
Okay.
Hamnet. I saw this movie twice, both times in theaters. The first time I went with my dad, and this was a film that my dad rarely wants to go see, but he loves Shakespeare. And
He
so
loves
do
his
I.
son and he wanted to go to the movies with his son.
Yeah, exactly. And he loves seeing movies just like I do. But this was the first film ever in my life that I've seen my own father cry. And I've never seen my dad cry at all, not even at a funeral. My dad stays strong, you know, and
Mm.
when 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 he saw Hamnet, it felt like he let his guard down and everything, and I started crying. Like this was the first film to like really dramatically make me cry in the best way possible. Like this story is amazing. Chloe Zhao did a phenomenal job. I couldn't imagine anyone else for that story but her after seeing Nomadland. I'm curious to see what she does next. And Hamnet was amazing. The second time I went with my mom and I knew what was coming again because I saw it for once and the same feelings came back and made me cry again and all over in the best ways. And it it just it keeps a I'm just very passionate about that film because to me that film is art, like true cinema art. And
It's about art.
yeah, It's about art, and it's a film that is art in the best way. And I feel like they stay true to the book and stay true to who Shakespeare and his wife were as people. And I never really knew the story behind Hamlet. And after seeing that story, I was blown away. My breath was taken away.
Graham?
I also admired the film quite a bit. I don't know if I lost my breath, but I love the film, and I'm just like I got introduced to Jessie Buckley very early on in her career when she was making indies in Britain that no one ever really saw, but I saw them, and I got to kind of informally meet her in 2019 at Tribeca. She was there doing this film, and she did a private concert after the screening for about 30 people. And I'm just like over the moon that she's going to be the way that this film gets anointed. I'm just so happy for Jessie. And yeah, I just couldn't be happier that she's going to win the Oscar. So
Yeah. Mescal, though, he did not get nominated for this, and I think this is one of his better roles.
I would say yeah, that's the biggest snub of the whole season would be Mescal for me.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe that little kid.
That little kid, yeah.
That little kid made me cry so much.
He should be the leading actor. He was a child in a movie that didn't annoy me. I feel like sometimes they just can't direct children, and this kid was excellent. The hardest thing I had with the film was like it was so depressing. Like it is very much like just like it's tortures. It's kind of torture to watch that movie because I knew directly where it was going. I don't think that this story about Shakespeare isn't really like well known or like 100% verified. So like a lot of stuff in it, they take a lot of liberties. But I think that somebody who really loves Shakespeare and Chloe is really good with directing everybody and then having these outstanding actors. I thought that as much as a problem where like I saw where this movie was going and I was like, I don't want to see this. I do not want to see where this kid, I don't want to see him die. But when you get to the finale and they're doing Hamlet and they're doing the stage performance, and a thing that I thought was really cool, which I didn't know until I watched the credits roll, is that the kid that played Hamlet is a real life brother to the kid that played Hamnet. So they're both dupes. So that little kid, his older brother, is Hamlet in the play. And I kind of thought that was a smart idea since Jessie Buckley's character is sort of like, I don't think of the word, but like I don't want to say transfixed on him, but she, like projecting her child onto
him.
Hamlet. And honestly, when I saw the trailer for this movie, I thought that it definitely had that very like heavy Oscar bait feel to it, where like everyone's reaching out and it felt very melodramatic. And when I saw the movie, I didn't feel that it was done poorly or anything like that. I definitely thought it was done very well. And I don't know. I did not like leaving that. I did not like the experience I had from that movie, even though I would say that like it's 100% was a really well made movie. And I kind of felt like it did pull away from the Oscar bait shit that they, would make fun of. It definitely pulled off the emotional aspect at the end of that movie. And hopefully whatever she does next, it sounds like it might be a Mission Impossible movie, is not as depressing as this.
She probably needs a change of pace after doing Hamnet.
You know what? I too would be like, you know what? I want an Academy Award. I want to do a fucking action movie.
Well, what was the blockbuster she did? She directed with Angelina Jolie. What was that one called?
She did Eternals, a
Eternals.
Marvel
Yes,
movie,
thank you.
and I don't think that it was bad, but Marvel like has so much pre-planned for these people story wise and shot wise.
No, but the point is everyone needs a paycheck, right? And everyone wants to feed their family, and so what you make.
Oh yeah.
Directing a Marvel movie versus directing Hamnet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there's tons of actors and stuff too. Like Chris Evans is a perfect example of makes tons of money from the Marvel movies, so he can do the little projects that don't pay as well that he's more happy to do.
Yeah.
But I will say that little boy who plays Hamnet, I feel like he's going to have a very, very long career in this industry.
Don't
And the
jinx
last,
it.
Yeah, don't
well,
jinx
no,
it,
no,
Tim.
no.
We all said that about Jacob Tremblay after Room, and look, that didn't turn out so great. So
I mean, yeah, Hamnet was like a a well-made train wreck. I'm like, Hamnet, don't get in that bed, Hamnet. I wasn't screaming at the movie theater. I was crying and eating popcorn. So
Yeah.
Martin Supreme, Josh Safdie of the Safdie brothers does his own individual movie. It's the same exact time that the Smashing Machine came out.
Mm-hmm.
We could. They're both obsessed with Japan. They definitely put world travel into their budgets. I don't know if Ben Safdie, who we see more of as an actor recently, is necessarily a worse director, but I like when they split apart and you can kind of see how the duo probably works together.
Just like the Coen brothers, you can tell which one is a deep thinker in a way. To me, with Marty Supreme, not to compare it to Smashing Machine because they're completely two different stories. They're both about sports, but at the same time, like I think Marty Supreme.
Martin Supreme.
I know you got me saying it now, Justin. Marty Supreme was a better storyline. It was quicker paced. I think it was more well written. The Smashing Machine just felt very too slow. I thought it was, you know, I think Ben is just more into acting than directing, and he's doing a lot right now, and I understand, but Josh has more time to write his stories, and because he wants to be more of a director, not an actor. So I think he wants to take his time and do his thing. And Timothy Chalamet, man, he's I think this was a better performance from him than last year with A Complete Unknown because he is a captivating actor and he doesn't really make a horrible film, unless it's Love the Coopers. Sorry, Justin. But at the same time, I do feel like his Oscar will be taken away, sadly. I know people want to see him win, but I don't think it's just his time yet.
They're not taking the Oscar away. It's not La La Land. They're not handing it to him and then taking it.
You never know. It could happen again. But I'm just saying, like, you never know what could happen.
That's like the tagline of Marty Supreme. You never
Yeah,
know what could happen.
Like even like with the trailer, you think like it's one thing, and when you see the movie, it's like it takes like a turn. It's like, oh, like they kind of lied to you with the trailer that it's going to be this big, wonderful, amazing story, and then it just turns when you go see the film. And I think they did that intentionally, which I think if that was the case, I think they did a great job.
Grant Supreme.
I did not love this movie. I found it to be very frenetic. It reminded me a lot of Uncut Gems, where it's just so frenetic. It's just so much stuffed in there all at once. I felt like it was a bit excessive, and I feel like a lot of things didn't really serve the movie well, and I think there are a lot of things that could have been removed from the story. Personally, I I'm always happy to see Gwyneth, back on screen. She was giving me Margot Tenenbaum the whole time, which I loved. And yeah, Timmy was very committed to the performance. I agree. I think he was better in this than I probably have ever anything I've seen him in. And I really thought, kind of for the longest time, I really thought maybe this was going to be his year because he'd been nominated so many times and never won. And I thought they're going to finally just throw it to him, especially after that horrible Adrian Brody Oscar speech last year. But, this is Hollywood, and I've never seen a smear campaign happen so fast, so quick for anyone really. So it's unfortunate, I guess. I'm not the biggest Chalamet fan, but I really do appreciate his work. But as a movie, unlike the movie as a whole, I really just didn't connect with any of it. I really just felt like I was watching two different films. I felt like one was the soundtrack and one was the film, and I got two films that were like happening simultaneously. So yeah, I don't hate the movie, but I'm not upset that it's probably not going to win anything.
Yeah, I actually kind of have the same notes. I did enjoy this movie. I think more than you, but I definitely have the same things where it is a riff of Uncut Gems, and it's sort of like Hitchcock with the wrong man stories. Like Safdie's like really obsessed with a person that is I don't want to say necessarily like out of their element, but like gets themselves into worse situations than they should from their personality.
Yeah.
And I have the same thing where like I definitely think there's too much going on in this movie to the point that like you step back and the subplots are like they're crazy, but there was some really good performances in this. And I think what Safdie's the best at, and he reminds me a lot of John Cassavetes, he's really good at casting non-actors. I think he's really good at like I haven't seen Tyler the Creator in anything, but like I feel like he could take an ASAP Rocky and get a good performance out of that. Sorry, ASAP Rocky. He keeps trying, but he's not pulled it off yet. Even in If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. I was like, this guy is not very good. I don't like. In an otherwise very good movie, I was like, this guy is just he's not the standout. But I do love a good movie where I was just intrigued to see what it was. And the fact that it was like a ping pong movie, that's one of my biggest draws is when you have a director that you're interested in and they're like, the plot of my movie is about math and ants, or, just like that's a Aronofsky, but it's just sort of like nobody in the right mind wants to see that movie based off that description.
Yeah.
But you're interested in why they picked it up and took it. And yeah, there's so many interesting things that happen in this movie. I don't know how many of them are necessary, but like, yeah, it takes the idea of uncut gems of like, this causes this thing, that causes this thing, that causes this thing. I mean, watch Good Time, Uncut Gems in this, and I don't know how you're going to feel about humanity anymore.
I actually love Good Time. I think Good Time's a great film, and that's what really got me interested into the Safdies the most was Good Time. I think that's a very accomplished film, and this just feels meandering in some parts. It really it just like kind of veers off all the time, and you're not really sure what you just left and where you're going, and I don't know.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I've enjoyed all of their movies, and I hear things like when I saw Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, and like where he's like, oh, he's actually very good in this, and I would argue I've seen enough like infomercial crap from him that's terrible that he was just directed well or edited or they cut it very well. He was hired for a very specific role, and I did hear that they did like 50 takes of him getting like paddled. So like I
Yeah.
hopefully they'll do like an extended cut, and then that's what it'll just be.
Hey,
That'll be the extra half hour. Really helped the pacing of that movie. I also really love the transition. It starts also like uncut gems inside the gem, but or inside Adam Sandler's head, or ends with inside Adam Sandler's head. But I do like the egg becoming the the ping pong ball. And I do love some of the marketing behind it too, where he's like, I'm going to be on the Wheaties box, and A24 is like, we have one of those, and we're also selling his orange ping pong balls.
And then Timothy Chalamet on top of the sphere in Vegas.
And also, like, that stuff's really funny to me. Like, that shot was really funny to me where he, didn't pay off he didn't pay for the ping pong balls, and that his, like, buddy gets mad and just throws them out the window. And it's like, it's so funny, and it really shouldn't be like it, but that and the fucking bathtub scene that comes out of nowhere. And it's just like, what the fuck's happening? That's pretty much what that movie is. It does a good job of diverting expectations almost entirely, to the point where the problem is there's just so much going on. But yeah, it is a roller coaster ride of a movie. Like, I don't there's also, like, where's the tension in it? There's a little bit of tension, like when they go to that house and that guy has a gun, but like besides that, everything is just, I have no idea where this is headed. One battle after another. PTA. This movie is probably my favorite movie out of everything that I saw last year. And I think what it is because, like, I think that he kind of nailed what he didn't really nail with Inherent Vice, which is the same author that he based this writing off of.
it feels very similar.
It has a very chaotic but sadly realistic feel to it, and it feels like it's channeling something that I haven't seen since Doctor Strangelove, where like it's not afraid to like parody itself a little bit, but it also kind of makes things, I don't want to say more depressing, but like heavier. It makes things more heavy. Like the Christmas Club of, I don't know what the hell they're called, the neo-Nazi things, people that are trying to run the government. That reminded me of like one of the scenes out of like inside the war room with all the people in Doctor Strangelove, where like it's such a heavy satire in what all these people are saying, but also in the times that we're living in, anytime we see a news report, it is literally people talking like any thought that comes in their head is out of their mouth. And I think this is also one of my favorite like Leonardo DiCaprio performances. I don't think that he's going to win because he's not allowed to. He's never going to. I mean, he did win the best. He won it for
Covenant.
Yeah. But I really like his character in this because he's
So pathetic.
He's very, very like, he's like that chaotic good. Like he is like a really good guy, but he doesn't make very good decisions. I absolutely love, he was this revolutionary that, was like in his prime, like the best. And he does turn into like a Big Lebowski type character where, when 15 years goes by and the shit's happening that they said was going to happen, he's just like so not prepared for it at all. Like like he can't get past the very first part of what he was supposed to like memorize and know in the situation. But between that, I really love Sean Penn in this. His daughter's great in this. All the little tinier rules are great in this. The tension in the end where they came up with that scene with like the what it's like the VistaVision like 70 millimeter camera that they had on the car when they were actually doing the hill scene. And I think they said the hills, that like finale with the hills, wasn't even a part of that movie until they were like location scouting. And I know they said the first shot that they did of it looked too good to the point where he said people are gonna think that this is CG, so they like loosened the camera rig so like it would like it would shake a little bit. But this is gonna be a really highly quotable movie, I think, in a few years' time.
Oh, 100%.
I also really like that apparently Leonardo DiCaprio's dad, he was in Licorice Pizza. Like I don't know if he does a lot of acting type things, but he was like the waterbed salesman in it. And
Oh, yeah.
I feel
That's
like
right.
PTA wanted to work with him so long that he's like, I'm just going to cast his dad in this movie so that he just keeps bothering him until he finally ends up in one of my movies. But yeah, like, like there's nothing not funny in that movie. Like, I don't know, the comedy and the tension and everything. It's perfect for me.
Yeah, I love it too, and I'm really happy. It's going to be your next Best Picture winner, and I'm really happy that PTA is getting his time in the arena. He's deserved it for so long, so it's so great. Like kind of like when Nolan won for Oppenheimer, and it was like Nolan's year, and we kind of anointed Nolan. It's just really fun to like watch Paul kind of have his year. I am just such an admirer of his body of work. So if it's channeled through this film, I'm like ecstatic about it. I think I'm very happy that as a film, I'm very happy that this is going to be a Best Picture winner. I think that hill scene is just so iconic and it will never be forgotten. The tracking scene that they do when the boys are jumping the roofs and you have all the light coming down from beneath. I thought that was just pure cinema. I mean, it's just pure cinema to create that light source from below and to have that tracking shot on that roof. I thought this is just so beautiful just to watch. But honestly, like Leo, yeah, like I've never been a huge Leo proponent, and it's kind of like think about if we were all just the three of us were standing in an acting class, and your acting coach was like, "Do pathetic for me, show me pathetic," and it would be like, how would you do that, right? But Leo like is so perfect at being pathetic. Like his character is so pathetic, and he's so good at being pathetic that I just was totally enraptured by it. I'm very pleased, and like you said, Sean's great, and I'm not sure if Sean wins or not, but like, who else could have done that? Who else could have been cast for that role and been so convincing as this like white supremacist? I really I think very highly about this film as well.
And
Well,
Benicio, he's so funny in
Oh, and
this.
Benicio, yeah, a few little beers, you know.
Just a few just a few small beers.
yeah, I think it was a great film too. I do admire Paul Thomas Anderson. Like my exposure to him, I didn't get exposed to him until I went to college and everything. And the first film I saw of his was Boogie Nights. And I'm like, who is this director? I want to watch more of his stuff. And then the Holdovers came out, and I'm like, I love this film, but there's just something more about Paul. Like,
That's
he's
not
not.
PTA.
Yeah,
Oh, it's not.
no,
That's my fault.
You're thinking
But
Alexander Payne.
we got to cut that.
that's right. Yeah, cut
No,
that.
I'm leaving it.
No, cut it, Morgan.
And all the stuff you said about your dad crying, which you're like, he fights it so no one knows, and you just told the whole world about it.
But anyway,
There Will Be
I
Blood
did.
is like a perfect movie almost. Like I don't,
Mhm.
every time I watch it, it almost has like the 2001 Space Odyssey effect where I'm like, it just gets better. Like it's so well thought through. So
Yeah.
hopefully it's the same with this.
Yeah,
Mhm. But for me with this film, I did like Leo a lot, but I do not think he will win. But I will say this, it is Paul's time. I 100% agree, but I disagree on Best Picture highly for many reasons. But I'll say that for the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Agent Secreto. I've used my best Spanish, Espanol, for that. The secret agent.
You mean you're Portuguese?
Portuguese. Don't they? I guess it would, yeah. I guess it would be Portuguese.
So we're going to keep that in there, right?
I'm wrong all the time. All you have to do is admit that you're wrong when you're wrong, and everyone will be fine with it.
Exactly.
I don't want to talk about this film too long, but I just want to say I really admire the director. He did Baccarat, and I love that film. Of all the nominees, this is probably my least favorite film. I didn't understand what I was supposed to get away from it. And I really did admire so much they went into painstaking detail to make it period. You see all the cars and they went in such great length to make it feel period. And so I really appreciate it from that aspect. But, Walter Sallis's character in the third act, he kind of just disappears and then you never see him again. And so for me, it was kind of like very unsatisfying, very unfulfilling to kind of like find out what happened to him through these like young archivists that are like going through the tapes and whatnot. I felt like I was like kind of cut off from a very like movie that had momentum. And so I was kind of iced on that whole film personally.
Tim, did you see it?
I did not get a chance to see this film. It's very hard to find to watch it here. There's a couple films in the Best Picture category that I haven't been able to see because I'm working and everything, and I'm assistant directing a play by night, so I'm working from 8:30 to just done with work at 6:30, and assistant directing from 7 p.m. to 10 o'clock at night. So there's only 3 I haven't been able to see just yet. But I haven't seen this film, I'll be honest. But I do plan on seeing it before Sunday.
It's okay. You're not on trial or anything.
Oh, I know. I'm just letting you guys know.
It is on Hulu. It was one of the last ones that I got to see. I actually probably saw more movies nominated this year for this Academy Awards than all time. I think I'm down to 9 movies and 3 shorts that I didn't see.
It's great.
Good for you.
That's awesome.
I know. I was watching. I was getting to the point where I was watching just movie was just nominated for makeup, and I've never heard of it before that. I didn't watch the song ones though. I mean, I have seen some of the movies with songs in it, but I was just sort of like, I'm not watching this whole movie for the song, renting it from the library. But Secret Agent, I would say I agree with you, Grant. I feel like it was such a long movie and they could have cut 30 minutes out of it to make it a little bit tighter. But I did kind of really like the fact that the point of the movie from that character, the main character's perspective, it comes off very realistic, in the way that they kind of gather information and how they share information. But then at the same time, it does get fucking ridiculous because my friend showed me a poster for it, which I shared with you guys, which is Jaws with all the golden globes in its mouth and the leg floating there. And it looked like one of those Ugandan posters that they make where the guy hand paints them and he paints all kind of weird things that don't have anything to do with that movie. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that Jaws and that leg had very prominent parts in that movie. And I don't know if it was necessary. I don't know if the story aspect where they were reading the news story about the leg and they show this leg going on a rampage it's the fucking a slasher or something in this park late at night. I don't necessarily mind I think maybe the execution was a little bit poor at the end because it does pull a similar thing of what No Country for Old Men does, where we do get to this character's death without seeing this character's death. And it's weird because I do think, you have these people in the present time that are listening to these archival recordings, but even they show up halfway through the movie where you don't even realize it's a close-up of a fucking iPhone or something. You're like, what the hell's happening? And it's you're in another time. And I really did like that aspect of it. But I'm sorry, this is a little bit of a spoiler, Tim. But when he shows up again as his son, like I knew it was coming, and I just sort of like, you didn't spend enough time with that character, and it didn't have the emotional weight of the character that he played through the whole entire movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think they almost should have, if they wanted to like do some non-linear, they're already kind of non-linear if they're jumping back and forth between the future and the present, like end it more on an emotional beat with the dad. Unless
it had no emotional, nothing for me.
Yeah, it's sort of like
you're talking about the sit down interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing. I got nothing out of it.
I mean, I think the thing is like, I mean, the story, it doesn't have to be a warm story, but I do get like, if your dad's killed when you're like 5 years old, yeah, you probably don't remember them or know anything about them, and maybe you don't care about them. But like the reveal, like, oh, this is where my grandfather worked. It was the movie theater, and now it's this hospital. Just something fell a little flat for me.
Yep.
Like, sorry to compare it again to No Country for Old Men, but that's like a prime example of you killed him off. That's the way things go. Sometimes they're not very eventful. And then you just end with that Tommy Lee Jones, like, giving a very like ambiguous description of his two dreams. So the movie goes very heavy into the themes, and he's a very interesting character. He's a character throughout the whole fucking movie. To something like this where it's just like, yeah, he's not even played like warmly or likable or anything. Like, I don't even see the girl being like, hey, by the way, I saved all this stuff for you because you've been so great to me, or anything like that. Sentimental value.
This is probably my favorite movie of the year. I love this movie. I just really connected with it, and honestly, if it wasn't Jesse's year, Renata's right there.
Mm-hmm.
She's so good. She's such an amazing actor. Not only in this film, but like worst person in the world too. I just admire her so much as an actor. And like Stellan Skarsgård, man, that was a great performance. And I have no idea what happens on Sunday, but God, it would be really lovely if he won, right? Because I don't know if he will ever get an opportunity like this again. It just feels like a really great lived-in role for him. So I don't know. I admire this movie so much. It's just the one that I connected with the most, and I just really like. You kind of go through the whole film, and then you get to the part where the two sisters are. Renata's going to her sister's apartment, and her sister's trying to convince Renata to read the screenplay that her father wrote, and just that just really hit big for me, and I was just really, really pulled in and taken by that whole family dynamic, especially the sibling dynamic. I love this film so much. So I hope I think it'll win international film, and I hope Stellan wins, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, sadly, this is another film that I have been able to see, but I did watch the trailer, and I feel like I do feel like I'm going to feel the same way as Grant, and I do agree with Stellan. I do think like it is his time. I do like his body of work, and you never know if he's going to get up there again, because you know what, he is up there in age and everything, but you never know what could happen in the future. But if this is his only opportunity, then I would love for him to receive an Oscar.
I feel like you're setting people up to die. You're like, Skarsgård, that kid from Hamnet, like, you don't.
Thanks, Justin.
No, he's been excellent especially this last year, with even his performance in Andor,
yeah.
Star Wars show. Like, he is fucking awesome in that, and probably one of the best developed characters in that entire franchise. And sentimental value, like, yeah, I did love that. I do think that he was great in it. The whole cast was great in that movie. But the thing that I liked the most of it was, I love good plants and payoffs. And a lot of the plants and payoffs are visual things that have to do with memory, and like they make things important. They make parts of the house very important.
Yes.
And then they will revisit that. They'll bring you a familiar shot. Like there's a shot in this movie where like he has the house and he's going to film in the house, and then he's like, and here's going to be the camera. It's going to be right here. It's going to be this single shot. The camera's not going to move, and he walks away, and then it cuts to that exact shot with Elle Fanning, and it's just like clever stuff like that where like the cinephile in you, like if you really do like the cinematography and stuff, like it does a lot of memory recall type situations throughout the whole thing. And like that's just another aspect on top of it that like I really appreciate it. I still haven't seen The Worst Person in the World, which that makes me the worst person in the world, because I think that was like your favorite movie from that year too. And it's sitting on my shelf. It's been sitting on my shelf
It's
for like
so
2 years.
fucking good. It's so fucking good. Yeah. Oh, I love that movie.
But yeah, and the whole like the sets and everything, I kind of really liked the character of the house. You know, like I just liked over time, you know, spending time with like that emotional side of like a place, and how a place is important, and I like you go back to memories, just like the stuff that place will bring up, and it sort of questions like, what are you without that place? Like, are
Yeah.
you the same without that place?
I actually, so I saw it in theaters, then I went back and rewatched it on a screener, and you kind of get so kind of wrapped up in the personalities of the film that you forget. I kind of forgot that the house played such a pivotal role. So you go back and rewatch it, and then of course, you have the lead-in narration of the beginning of the film where she's talking about
Mhm.
the report she wrote about the house. And it just brings it all back about how, and like you said, everything you said just kind of like really refreshed my memory on a second watch. So yeah,
Yeah, it's really well done, Tim. I definitely think it's going to be something it's going to be studied
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
I
Um,
can't wait to see it. Is this streaming anywhere, actually?
it's on Mubi right now.
Okay.
I
Okay.
rented it. It's only like a $6 rental.
Okay.
It's coming to the Criterion Collection
Oh, amazing.
in May.
Sweet.
Criterion's getting better at getting these Best Picture nominees. Hey, I mean,
Good.
they're putting out Killers of the Flower Moon this month, which, you know, because it was a streaming service, Apple that made it,
Yeah.
you know,
And
that
they're
kind of
also,
even goes back to Frankenstein. Fuck you.
yeah.
Fuck you, Netflix, for making that. I couldn't see it in theaters. I missed it the 1 week that it was in theaters in my area before, you know, it came to Netflix and wasn't in theaters anymore.
I even missed it too in theaters. I was so upset. And I wasn't even aware that it was even in theaters.
Because they can't, a lot of these theater chains, they have a rule where they can't put something in if it's going to go to streaming within 30 days.
Right. Right.
So a lot of Netflix movies, like Wake Up Dead Man, the Knives Out thing, did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like it was had a
Yep.
real short run.
Right.
Sinners, Ryan Coogler's supernatural drama about twin brothers, dark forces during the Jim Crow era.
Brilliant. That it's that's like, if I could sum up that entire film in one word, I have to say it's brilliant. Because like it's is a movie that, like, it is horrifying. Like it definitely fits in the horror genre with the vampires and everything. But you know what? If I have to pick a film, any horror film, let me be frank with you there. If I had to pick any horror film to win Best Picture, I feel like Sinners would be it to a T. Because like it would shock everyone for Sinners to win Best Picture. I feel like, including when you have one battle after another and everything, but I feel like that would be a shock. But I do feel like it is time for a horror film to win Best Picture, and I feel like Sinners could do it. But I could be wrong. but I do think this is the best Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan film. I think because I remember going to see Fruitville Station for the first time, and to see them grow as a pair, just seeing like how I grew up seeing, Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio going together to almost every film, but with Ryan and Michael, it's just that just that mashed together is just one of a kind. And with this film, I thought it was very well written. I think it's great. I feel like it's going to win Best Original Screenplay, and if it does, it highly deserves it, because just how they crafted this film was just outstanding, and it deserved all 16 nominations, in my opinion.
Grant?
I loved it too. I loved it too. I'll just make it my comments just shorter. But that dance sequence when they're at the speakeasy, and it's kind of giving you that whole historical experience of the African American experience. I just thought that was just incredible filmmaking. Just kind of how even the camera just pivots, and you have figures just moving in and out of the frame. Just outstanding work. And also I just really loved the layover between the Native American and the Irish and the Black experience, kind of just like overlapping during the Jim Crow period. I just, without actually calling out what it is and being over explaining, it was all there on display and just beautiful. Yeah, it's a great film. And I saw it in 70 fall.
Yeah, that's the thing that impressed me the most about this movie was the cinematography. And I'd almost be disappointed if it doesn't win cinematography. And that's because I know they shot on, I think, 3 different camera formats. And this cinematographer had to match them up and get them to work all together, like all these different types of film, the 70 millimeter, which is very hard because like it runs through the camera in a completely different way. And so like that technical aspect of it just kind of blows me away. I believe it's the first woman cinematographer to use an IMAX camera. It's historical. It is somewhat historical based. But yeah, that scene, the moment where I knew where the most power of this movie was going to come from was that the music scene in the middle of the movie where they briefly kind of describe, I think they do it in the beginning of the movie, they describe it kind of like a folk tale type situation of, music, and music's very important to this movie, combining, all your culture. And so you have that great scene where like it where it brings everything together in this like, I don't know what to call it, like it makes me think of like a bouillabaisse like soup, like everything's just been brought into it. And I just and then on top of that, the score for this movie is so good. It's at least the only one for me that actually like stands out. Nothing against like Hamnet, but what was that? Richter. It's like
Max Richter.
yeah, he's incorporated that same song into it that he's done several times before.
Yeah.
And like I was like, come on, just like something new, man. Just give me something different. And this really felt like it was creating something new, and like it's kind of like the new future, because in the 80s we had our synthesizers, and that was that's the as they say in the Daft Punk song, like that's the sound of the future. So now you got to think about what is the future now, and I think it is something more along the lines of what the score is going for. I definitely love the cast in it, as almost every role is perfectly cast. So I do think that this is probably going to be one of the ones that get it in the bag for casting, and I think it won like it's an ensemble thing at SAG. But
Yep.
like
The actor awards, Justin.
actor awards, I don't know. SAG's actors, Tim. Train Dreams, a movie that Terrence Malick didn't make.
It's beautifully shot. It's stunning. I actually when I watched it, I was like kind of amazed that it could get produced in 2025. It feels like a movie that would have been made during like the Miramax years, like because it's not like it doesn't have like whose audience is Train Dreams for? You know what I mean? It feels like
Me.
no, but it's a wonderful film, but it's so art house in so many ways that it's just I'm sitting here just like watching this going, I can't believe someone produced this in 2025 because it doesn't fit any box. You know what I mean? But it's another film that features Carrie Condon that's up for Best Picture, so we love Carrie Condon, so
This is another one that I have not seen yet, but I did see the trailer and it does look visually stunning and dark and gritty. And it kinda like I'm not gonna say exactly the tone, but it kinda has a similar tone when The Revenant came out and everything. And I do really, really want to see this film on Netflix. And it just looks very fascinating to me. So I can't wait to see it.
I really also do like those like working class period pieces where where like the safety is like it's not guaranteed, and like the ridiculousness of having to travel so far for that type of work, and kind of getting like, if I don't know if that's how it was, but it felt like I believe like 100% that's probably what was happening. Was it William H. Macy's in it, and he has another great performance in that. I think isn't it all like naturally lit for the most part, or entirely?
it looks totally naturally lit. The whole thing does.
Yeah, like the whole thing, like that whole, and then like the scene where he's returning home, and just like the way that it's a very visual story. Like he doesn't have to say a single thing for you to know what's going on and what's happening, and all the emotion that he's put into his relationship and his family and his house. Like and it sort of has that like it's a time that doesn't exist anymore, of having that plot of land and being proud of that plot of land and the future generations of family that you're going to grow off of that, and how you're going to survive. It is a great film. Now the fun stuff. Not that we've been boring or anything.
Let the fun begin.
Maybe we should just try to go a little bit faster and not try to be shorter with our words, because we just spent an hour going through 10 films.
This is the fastest part.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the fastest part of the whole thing. Grant, quit trying to get away from me. So we do our predictions. Oscar-damus is what I call the award that Grant won last year. I'm pretty sure he had the most predictions correct out of anybody, and I'm trying to get that back from him, maybe to a degree. I don't know.
And I'm trying to get it too.
Tim's trying to get it too. So we're just gonna go through our predictions, and maybe I'll throw Chuck's on, but not in the middle of this. So we're just going to go through it. Animated short film, I'm going to go with Butterfly. And this is a little bit harder. Grant?
I'm going with Girl Who Cried Pearls, just because, go Canada.
That was a good, I like that.
I liked it. I liked it quite a bit too. So,
Tim, do you have a prediction?
Butterfly as well.
Okay. Tim, do you have a prediction for live action short film?
The Singers. I loved it. Grant?
I am torn. I'm going to go with A Friend of Dorothy.
That was another good one. Was that on YouTube, I think? I found a lot of them on YouTube. Documentary short film. Oh, wait, I didn't say mine.
You didn't say
I didn't say mine. Live action short film. I'm going to go with the two people exchanging saliva. I thought it was great. Documentary short film, I'm going with All the Empty Rooms. It's just it's depressing, but I think it's something that people have to see.
Yeah,
Grant?
I'm the same.
I watched it today, and I'm the same way.
Okay. That's easy. I draw an arrow. Animated feature film, I'm gonna go with the K-pop Demon Hunters. I actually am surprised with how much I enjoyed that movie. When I saw it advertised, it didn't look like anything that I would want to see.
I'm going with K-pop, but I was just a little bit cautious because Zootopia won BAFTA. And Zootopia 2 is great, so I really a bit torn, but I'm gonna go with K-pop just because I think it has the momentum.
I think it's 50-50, really. Tim?
I think K-pop is a shoe-in, 100%. K-pop, Demon Hunters.
Tim, what do you think about documentary feature film?
I watched this one a couple days ago, and I was just very fascinated by it with the story, and I'm like, what the hell? The Perfect Neighbor for me.
Grant?
I did not see the Alabama Solution. I have it to watch. I saw everything else. I don't get why Perfect Neighbor would win. I don't see it. I, it's they tend to either use this award because they would either tend to go political or they tend
Mm.
to find like Questlove uncovers some hidden footage and or like the octopus is this amazing footage and so Perfect Neighbor doesn't fit either of those. It's stitched together, like it's edited really really well in order to make it coherent, but in terms of documentary I don't see it. So I'm gonna go Mr. Nobody against Putin because it's so well made and I feel like it's very timely. Although cutting through rocks with everything in Iran right now also could be great. But I'm gonna go with Nobody.
I'm going with The Perfect Neighbor just based off of I feel like it's the most accessible. I know that when they vote for the Academy Awards, they're supposed to say, yeah, I did see all these movies. I do think that it ended up being an interesting movie just from the body cam footage and all that. They were able to tie the whole thing together.
But you
But
literally have to wait 50 minutes in to for the thing to happen. If you watch 45 minutes of that film, you don't even know what you're watching. You have to watch
true.
45 minutes for the thing to happen for the film to even mean something to you.
I think I saw everything but Cutting Through the Rocks. Mr. Nobody against Putin was terrifying and it feels also, very timely. Come See Me in the Good Light is probably the most depressing movie that I've ever watched.
Yeah.
And I was just emotionally I think I was crying. I think I cried from the beginning of that movie to the end of that movie. And it was just so touching and I kind of about poetry and life in general. But I'm going with The Perfect Neighbor because I just think that's my statistic for winning.
I
Not
would
that I
just
think
be
it's
amazed. I mean, maybe it is winning, but I don't get it. I don't see best documentary in that film at all. Sorry.
international feature film. I'm gonna go with Sentimental Value as well. I just think that it has the best chance of winning. I did really like. It was just an accident. Like that was totally up my alley of like another like doubt situation. Like is this person who I think this person is or aren't they? Grant?
Same.
Tim?
Me 3.
How about song? Do you have an opinion? Or well, I guess you don't have to have an opinion. Who do you think is going to win song, Grant?
Golden by K-pop.
Okay. Tim?
It's going to be Golden.
Okay. I'm going with this Vera Verdi thing because it just seems like something I didn't watch this movie at all, but it sounds like something that the Academy Awards have tend to gone towards in the past. But Golden is like I don't know if it's too poppy or what, but it is a good song.
Very catchy.
Score, I'm going to go with Sinners.
Same.
I think it's going to win. Plus, I thought that it was personally great.
Yeah, it's gonna win.
Agreed.
You're the
Agreed.
same.
Yep.
Technical costume design. I think it's Frankenstein.
Same.
Same.
Hairstyle, makeup, Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Production design. I think it's Frankenstein.
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 Cinematography. I'm going with Sinners.
Sinners as well.
Fuck. I don't know. I'm still on the fence on this one.
It's the moment of truth.
Yeah, I'll go Sinners too.
Film editing, Tim.
One battle. Oh, sorry.
Okay. No, you're okay. Grant says one battle. Tim.
Are you good? F1.
Wow. Okay. It wasn't nominated, was it?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was just testing you. I knew that. I'm going with one battle as well. And sound, I'm going with F1.
Yeah.
F1.
Visual effects, I'm going with Avatar 3.
Yeah.
So am I.
Avatar.
All right. Casting, I'm going with Sinners.
I'm going
Hands
with
down.
Hamnet. Nina Gold is going to win the first one. She's the most recognized casting director in Hollywood.
And it was set by casting designers generally. And it's a small field, small branch.
Everybody knows who Nina Gold is. And for her to win the first award, it would really be emblematic. So I know that's probably what's going to happen.
Tim?
I'm saying Sinners as well.
Okay. Original screenplay, I think Sinners.
Sinners.
Yeah, Sinners.
And I think one battle for adapted screenplay.
Agreed.
To me, it's Hamnet.
Actor in supporting role, I'm going to go with Sean Penn.
I'm going with Penn.
Yeah, I'm going with Penn as well. Is he going to turn up? Is he going to show up on Sunday?
Maybe not.
I hope he does.
Actress in a supporting role.
Should that be like the tiebreaker, Justin? Like whether we all vote whether Sean's going to show up on Sunday?
Yes.
That actually would be a good tiebreaker. Actress in a supporting role, I'm going to go with Amy Madigan. I think that I almost feel like this is the most up in the air category to the point where I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Woonmi.
Okay.
For me, I'm going with Amy because Weapons and Sinners were both good horror-wise, and I think that this is the best way to honor that film and to honor Amy as well.
How would you honor actor in a leading role, Tim?
What's that?
Actor in a leading role.
Oh, actor in a leading role. Michael B. It's his time.
Oh, you really do think it's going to be Michael B?
I really do. It's very hard to pull off not just one amazing performance, but two as twin brothers.
Yeah, when he handed that cigarette over to himself.
I know, right?
Grant?
Yeah, I'm also going with Michael.
Oh, wow. That's what I went with. I actually did have Michael B. Jordan. I really thought that I do think Timothée Chalamet has like a very, very good chance, but I'm banking on this. I was banking on this being the upset, but everybody's going for Michael B. Jordan, so maybe.
Well, also you have to remember voting was still open when SAG was announcing the winners. So,
What about actress in a leading role? I think we're probably all the same. Buckley for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Directing, I'm thinking PTA.
Oh
PTA?
yeah, of course. Yeah, PTA is winning.
And for best picture, I think it's One Battle.
Yeah.
Sinners is possibly is close, but I'm going with One Battle.
Yeah, of course.
Sinners. For me.
Sinners.
I'm a Sinners.
I would just to say to you both, I mean, I love that you have so much faith in Madigan, and then it would be great if she won. But listen, if Demi can't do it, then how the hell you think Amy's going to do it? So they just don't like the genre. They're just not going to embrace that genre. They're never going to.
I think that it's I don't think that she's out. I don't think that she's a definite no, but I definitely don't have any clue like which way it's going to go.
It can go anywhere.
I really don't think, like, when you look at the things that Madigan won, it makes sense. But when we're talking about like who's in the Academy and how the Academy views things and all these stupid anonymous ballots that I've read over the years, I really have a hard time. I really have a hard time finding an argument where Madigan comes out ahead on this.
I mean, I think it's really between her and Woonmi and Taylor. Like, I don't think that Fanning's going to get it, or Elias, if I'm saying that name right. I don't think the sentimental value. Sister.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I think of, so like I was thinking like my sure shot. Like I think there's no doubt in my mind is Buckley because she's been winning everything. It was a
No,
great
Buckley's winning
performance.
for sure. There's no question. That's not even in doubt.
We're kind of like in the same page, I think, for our sure shots. Like we definitely see
Yeah.
Frankenstein as all
They
the
want to give Hamnet an Oscar. This is where they're going to award the film. They recognize how good the film is. It got PG. I mean, it was nominated for PG. Like they want to anoint it somewhere. So it's like, where can you anoint it? Same with the sentimental value. They know sentimental value is not going to win Best Picture. That's why it's going to win International Feature. You know what I mean?
and maybe best supporting actor. Maybe.
I would love for Stellan to win.
I don't think that he's out. I mean, I think it's an actual possibility that he could win it.
If Sean hadn't won both BAFTA and SAG,
Mhm.
I would not be voting for Sean. But because he won BAFTA and SAG, it just feels like it's already done.
Yeah, and of the Academy branches, most of the voters are it's
Actors,
the
yeah.
acting. Yeah, they're the biggest branch.
Yeah.
And it's not, and Stellan's performance is not flashy by any means. He doesn't really get like a singular scene where he gets to flex. He doesn't have that Oscar clip. So it's
He
probably
didn't
not.
starve himself down to 60 pounds or
Yeah, like he probably isn't winning on Sunday, but I just would love if he did. But it's probably Sean because Sean has the flashier performance.
So where do you think the upset's going to be? There's usually one.
I think it's going to be Best Picture, honestly.
I mean, I do think Sinners has its shot, but I
I
don't.
don't.
You don't think it does?
No. I think it's too polarizing. People either love it or they don't like it at all.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a weighted ballot, so I actually think that Hamnet would do better on a weighted ballot than Sinners.
I mean, it's possible. Like the year Coda won, that wasn't I can't remember who it was.
I have
It was
a hard time picturing since it is a weighted ballot. I just have a hard time imagining one battle not being somewhere on everyone's ballot.
Yeah.
It's the movie that
Mhm.
no one hates. So
it's getting directing, it's getting
will-
writing. I
yeah,
think it's getting Best Picture too.
for me why I say Sinners is because like the Academy loves to go after films that are very artistic, right? But also they love to go for the political films as well. And one battle after another is very much that. And Hamnet is a piece of art. And Sinners
Tim,
is
it's all art.
well, I know, but I'm just saying, like it's very artistic and everything. But for me, Sinners is is both of those things, and I feel like personally, it is like so many, not so many, but horror films have been nominated in this category many times, and I feel like there needs to be a change for Best Picture, and Sinners blew me away. Just like the whole film, when you watch it, you're looking at characters that are literally in a slaughterhouse, and they resemble it so well that you know exactly what is happening. And to see the history of music from the very beginning to what we have now, I feel like it is a very artistic horror film, and I feel like it's not your typical horror film. It is a piece of art horror film, just like The Exorcist. But at the time, people were scared of that film. But nowadays, like we're getting more and more horror films that are becoming more and more iconic, and Sinners is going to be also one of those films that people are going to talk for a very, very long time about. And not just because it's nominated for 16 Academy Awards.
What about underrated? Or I should say overrated. I meant to say overrated. What's the most overrated film nominated?
overrated. I don't
I'm going with F1.
I'm not going to join that.
I don't think you were. I didn't think you were.
I really admire the craftsmanship of that film. So, and I'm happy that it's going to win sound because it deserves something. You know, they're going to spread it around. That's the whole point. They're going to spread it around throughout the evening. And even
They've
though
been doing that
Sinners
the last
isn't,
couple years. There
yeah,
has
and
not been
even
a
though that
blowout in a
Sinners is
while.
not going to win Best Picture, they're going to feel good about giving Michael B. Jordan an Oscar. They're going to feel good about giving it a score and screenplay. Like they're gonna feel like they did anoint it, and hopefully Wumi wins as well. They're gonna feel like they did right by the film by offering it Oscars in other places. You know, it's gonna be a bad night for Begonia. It's gonna be a bad night for Train Dreams. It's gonna be a bad night for Marty Supreme. It's just, you know, and they should just be happy, I guess, to be in the room, I guess. And I think
After party.
Marty Supreme is what the most highly grossed A24 film. Is that accurate?
I don't know.
I think I saw that it is the highest grossing A24 film. So, you know, they still come out ahead, you know? So, yeah, it's great.
Mhm.
Overrated with you, Tim. Frankenstein?
Man, like I it I feel like it is hard, you know, like because all these films are very well crafted, and if I had to pick one, I feel like it could be Avatar because this is the third one and it's starting to lack, you know. And Fire and Ash wasn't my favorite, but I just feel like they're just gonna hand visual effects to it because it's James Cameron,
Yeah.
you know.
Or like I felt the same way with. I mean, I think it only has the one nomination with Kate Hudson, but Song Sung
Yeah.
Blue was like that was a pretty bad movie.
Whoa. I like that movie.
I
I'm
think
not saying it's the best,
I'm so
but
happy that she
I
got
did good.
nominated. She put everything into that role, but like
Mhm.
I could not stop staring at Hugh Jackman's hair pieces. They were so fucking distracting. It really just pulled me out of the film every 10 seconds. But no, Kate put everything she had. I
You
mean,
know,
she did not have anything else.
there's a great looking movie coming out. Hugh Jackman gets murdered, and his sheep have to solve his murder. It's called The Sheep Detectives, and it looks pretty good. And
Yeah.
it's just been on my mind. I'm like, it looks like a bait, like the George Miller or somebody. Like I don't know who made this movie, but if you're worried about hair pieces, he seems to be dead pretty early on in the script. Films that deserve more nominations or any nominations. I think kind of like I feel the same way with like horror. I really enjoyed Weapons. I thought Weapons was a really fun movie. Maybe that's why I'm pushing for Madigan because it's like the only place where she's at or where that movie's at. And I'm actually a little bit surprised that No Other Choice didn't make it because I think Park Chan-wook's been like trying and trying and trying, and I don't even think that it's his like. I didn't even think like of his last couple movies. I don't think it was nearly as good as The Handmaiden, but like it's just. I mean, like this. I don't know. This guy's like putting out some of his best work, and I know he's competing against other countries. And do they ever do? Maybe you know this. They only ever nominate one film per country, right? So
Well,
there's never.
each film has its own board that selects their nominee.
But has there ever been a foreign film that has had a country that's had more than one nomination in a year?
Well, it depends on the producing partners, right? So,
Yeah.
like, it was just an accident is an Iranian film, but it's representing
Yeah.
France because it has a producing partner in France. So, a lot of times these other countries, they use multiple producing partners from other countries because they're dipping into certain funds, right? Or grants that are offered. And that's how they can qualify it for a different country.
Mhm.
So,
So
like,
if there's so you're like saying it could happen, but it would have to be like a loophole. The country's not submitting two or three
right,
films and
because
two of them get through.
like a Panahi film coming from France doesn't make sense, right? Like it's an Iranian film, but it has a French producing partner, which is why it's representing France, you know?
It makes sense to me. I mean, I've seen movies like that where they're like, this is an American movie that was made in Australia, but also with Canada. And yeah,
Justin, did you get to see The Hand of Rinjab or whatever that? Okay.
I didn't get to see
I
that
missed
one,
it. I
and
missed that one.
I didn't get to see Surat, if I'm saying it right.
Oh,
I'm probably
I
not.
hate that film with a passion.
So those two movies are the ones that I didn't get to see in the international. I also will say usually I'm very, very good at animated, and I didn't see Arco or the Little
Okay.
Amelia and the like. They came out too late and they weren't like streaming anywhere. I think now they're for like I saw it for purchase, but I'm like I'm gonna take the risk and I'll just wait a week and I'm sure it'll be out.
Yeah.
But I mean, they looked good. But I also feel like, yeah, between like Elio, which I don't think was Pixar's best, not necessarily their worst, but and then Zootopia was really well made. But yeah, like that's kind of where I've leaned towards the K-pop. Demon Hunters. It just feels like a little tad more, you know, it stands out a little bit more to me.
I think the big surprises of the night are going to come from the supporting acting categories.
Mm-hmm.
I think no matter what happens, we'll be surprised. Even if Madigan wins, I think it'll be a surprise because like Demi should have won last year. I'm still upset about this, and I will die on the hill being upset about the substance. And so I think if Madigan does win, it is signaling that perhaps they are embracing the genre more. Because I don't know that I would even qualify Sinners as a horror film, but definitely Weapons, yes, I would qualify that. And so, yeah, if Madigan wins, it's a signal for the genre as well. And if Madigan doesn't win, it's telling you that there's still, it's like a comedy actor winning, but they appreciate the work. They don't respect it enough to anoint it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I feel like Weapons all like should have been nominated in the category for original screenplay because I thought it was a very creative film and I wish I would have came up with that storyline. I'm just like, wow. And when Amy Madigan, she was scary as hell in the film. I will say that I jumped out of my seat multiple times because she scared me shitless.
I mean, if you introduced Grant like that, he'd scare the shit out of you too. It's not a good introduction to people the way they keep bringing her in.
No, like I saw it for the first time in theaters. I was by myself and I was scared, and then I watched it with my friends from college. I knew what was coming, and I still jumped out of my seat. They're like, "Tim, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I knew that was coming, and it still got me." And to backpedal with what Grant said, like horror films have not been taken seriously.
A lot of great performances in
And
that movie that aren't Amy too. You know, like
right, right. And that's why I do want Sinners to win Best Picture because that is a signal of horror films being taken more seriously and not just as a cash grab or just something to entertain people. It's still a part of cinema.
I think we're set on our Best Picture predictions. But I would say the only thing that I haven't done in a couple of years, and I mentioned it briefly on this, is I watched almost all the. I didn't do the short film festivals because like the timing, which is terrible for me to even try to make it to those things. But I ended up finding most of them like on HBO Max or YouTube, or like Criterion Channel got the one with Perfectly a Strangeness, I think, with it's just following donkeys around in this but yeah, like all of them are actually very, very, very good. Like I think this is also another category that's just really, really hard to even predict a winner because they're all so very different. Like the animated one that the Girl Who Cried Pearls was so good, and I love that style, and I thought that it had like that folk tale type. I don't want to spoil the end, but it has like a little twist to it. the retirement plan. I think I watched it on YouTube or something. I thought that was really fucking funny. Just this guy that's like retired and all the things that he's going to do or not do. And it's just a very short, like 7-minute video. But yeah, like Butterfly, which I think might win. It has like an animated paint, like rough painting aesthetic to it. It's very visual. And yeah, like it's like when you realize what's happening, you're just like, holy shit. But yeah, I think I didn't see the Three Sisters, couldn't find that anywhere. The Butcher's Stain, I couldn't find that anywhere. And Children No More, I couldn't find that anywhere. So, but yeah, like All the Empty Rooms, which is just this, it could go either way, but I thought it was really well done of just showing it's just the empty rooms of these children that have been killed in school shootings. And I feel like that's going to be something that's, maybe more a little like that's where they like the message and they're going to push that one through. But yeah,
it's almost like the donkey one might be the one that you want to vote for because they're all so heavy. The other one's about abortion and the other one's about
the Jane Austen period drama was not bad because the period drama is about a woman's body,
saying,
and it's really funny.
1 or 2 years ago, that documentary short went to that one about the music instruments in the LA public school system.
Yeah, that was good.
And it was just such a tender and sweet documentary. It's almost kind of like you want to just like feel good about something, and like all these topics are so heavy, You have the war journalist, the abortion one, the school shooting one. Like it's just like the donkeys, like kind of like make you want to go, okay, like maybe just pick the donkeys,
Yeah, I mean, going into them, like I went into every single one blind, like just enough to know that I was watching the correct thing, and like the devil was busy. I'm like, what? When it started, I'm like, what is this woman doing? Like, what is her career? And I was like, oh, okay, like, all right, now that the setting has fit in. But yeah, that perfect strangeness with the donkeys is easily like the lightest of that category. The live action shorts, I really liked. I thought the Dorothy one was great. Singers was a lot of fun. I'm a huge fan of the Twilight Zone, so I really liked the two people exchanging saliva because it just felt like like an episode of the Twilight Zone. I think if the Twilight Zone was still around, they would literally buy that and they'd be like, yeah, that's just one of our episodes and enjoy it. But yeah, it was great talking to you guys again. From our yearly face to face.
Yeah, for real.
Now I always look forward to this every year.
We'll have to be texting during Oscar night. We'll have to. I'm hosting a party on Sunday with all the gays, so.
I'm hosting a party too, and I invited Justin, but he didn't say if he was coming or not.
I'm probably not. I'm probably just going to be a loner on my couch. Like, oh, wow. I'll order as if there's a party, like a ton of pizza or something. And I'll just sit there and be like, oh, wow.
Does anyone not think that Sean is going to show up?
I think if he does show up, he's at least going to be smoking a cigarette when he's not supposed to or something,
Either that or his hair is going to be messed up again.
You know what they should do? They should murder him, and then they should just carry his corpse and reminiscent of the movie that he's in. Just sit him in the chair. I don't know.
But I do feel like it's going to be one interesting night, and any of these categories can go haywire too.
No, I think this is one of the least haywire and prone nights. Actually,
that's fair.
I do. I think last year went haywire. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think that's gonna go like that this year. I don't know. Did you guys? Can you think back a year ago? Were you guys predicting Mickey to win?
There were pieces of me that said I think she is going to win, but there are also times where I thought exactly what you felt. I did think it was Demi's time, but also I think it was also a signal and a sign for us as a younger generation starting to not take over, but it's more of a signal that our generation is being taken more seriously. Even though she is a little bit younger than me, but still it's that sign that it's not just about, who's been in the industry the longest who deserves the Oscar.
That's what you normally seem to go with, Tim. But
Right.
to answer Grant's question, literally everybody under the sun thought it was going to be Demi Moore.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that
Yeah.
anybody. I think a lot of people were like, "She's Mickey's a good actress. Mikey's a good actress,
Thank you.
and she'll be in something else." That's really where I thought that it was going to go. I loved Denora. I thought that it was a really good movie. I'm happy that it won. I don't the last movie that like I still haven't seen it. I just have no interest in it. Is the what is it called? The Green Book.
You still
haven't seen it?
I still haven't seen it.
Wow.
The whole trailer like turned me off. And then when even like Spike Lee was like dissing that movie, I was just like, maybe I'll see it eventually. I don't know. Like I just had no interest in that one.
This is how I sum up Green Book. Justin, I'm going to ask you this question. Have you seen Driving Miss Daisy?
Yes.
It's that, but with two guys.
I mean, the last time I was genuinely surprised, and I wanted it to win, but I was surprised that it did, was Parasite. Like, I really thought Parasite was a great movie, and I just thought it doesn't have a chance.
Jumping out of my chair, screaming like a banshee, like when that won, because no one thought that could happen. No one thought they would give it to a foreign film.
Mm-hmm.
It deserved it. It deserved it at the time.
Yeah, it still deserves it even now.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have any big surprises. I just think the supporting categories might surprise us. That's gonna be.
I mean, I think there is something always. I feel like there is usually a surprise because these individual branches. Just so I'm getting this correct, the individual branches vote for the nominees, but then the whole Academy can vote for anything.
That's right.
And I get a lot of it's word of mouth. Like I believe they said within the last couple of years, they're prompted with the question, "Did you watch all of these movies?"
Yeah.
So I'm sure most people are lying and just saying yes. I mean, I've literally heard people say, "Oh, I voted for this movie because my friend told me to," and I never didn't see anything else.
Yeah.
So
that's when 12 years when that you heard that a lot being tossed around, people saying they voted for it because they felt like that was the movie they were supposed to vote for.
Mm-hmm. And it's another great movie and also very depressing.
Yeah. No.
And at times,
and Brad Pitt is also the hero in it. He can't play a bad person.
and there are still times where Justin brings this up to me all the time, Grant, is I'm still on and off still mad about La La Land losing Best Picture. Not
it's
gonna
not
lie.
that you're mad about it. The story is you punched a hole in your wall like a Kyle.
Well, here's the thing. Like you guys know, I'm very passionate about movies and musicals, and for me at the time, and I still highly believe this, that La La Land, it stays true to what musicals and cinema is and how it's supposed to be. And it's very hard to see that now because we have all these musicals that are coming straight off of Broadway being adapted into film, which some of them you can pull off, others you cannot. And it's very, very difficult to do that. And a lot of people don't write musicals that go straight into films that are original. But with La La Land, they stay true to what the past cinema musical films were like Top Hat, Singing in the Rain, and I admired Damien.
And what else, Tim? And what else? What other movie? I made you watch it.
Oh, Umbrellas of the
Chabros.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Which I love.
Whatever. Yeah, that is. That's a really great movie. I'm not.
Yeah.
Like I say it all the time. I'm like musicals just don't. Like, I'm usually not interested when I see the musical, but I could probably name like 200 musicals that I actually think are pretty good.
And it's not like they've never given musical Best Picture before. They have. So
Right.
I think if you're going to die on the hill for something, die on the hill for Crash winning Best Picture instead of Brokeback. But anyway, Justin, one thing I wanted to mention that you really didn't need to go in the episode, but you were talking about Begonia and having watched the original versus the remake.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell you that if you've never seen, I saw Wuthering Heights, the Fennell version.
Yeah.
And if you've never seen the Ray Fiennes and Juliette Binoche one, it's much better than the one that Fennell just put out.
What movie are you talking about?
Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights.
Oh, got you. Okay.
I don't know if
I
you
missed
saw,
the word Wuthering Heights, and I was like, what the hell are we talking about? Like, I was like, what?
I don't know if you saw the Fennell one that just came out.
No.
I saw it.
I would tell you to skip it hardcore. And if you want to see an adaptation that's really good, is the Binoche and Ray Fiennes one.
I think it might be on Criterion Channel, or at least there's one of the Wuthering Heights adaptations. Is
this
there.
one was not it.
Oh.
It was horrible.
I'll seek it out. I will definitely find it. That's, you know what, when I was watching, there was a makeup movie called The Ugly Stepsister, which took place in it was like a Cinderella. It was a Cinderella story from the stepsister's point of view. Watching that movie, I was like, this is the director of the new Wuthering Heights movie. And then I was like, how did they do this? And then I realized I was completely wrong. It wasn't the director. That I was confusing the director of Saltburn. I was like, and the stepsister one is like a little grotesque and hard to watch at times, but as far as like point of view goes, it's actually really well done. But yeah,
I don't think anything could take away Frankenstein's hair and makeup. I mean, Elordi's sitting in for prosthetics for how long every day? I can't even imagine anyone taking that away from him.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, Norbert won, Norbit or whatever won, for the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say thanks for being on, and this episode's going to be up in a couple days right before the Oscars, and we'll see how well that we did. I'll do another fantasy league thing, so it'll be easier to track and watch if you want to put your predictions up there. If you don't know what your predictions are and you were doing it on the fly, I'll send you a screenshot of what I have.
Okay.
But nice seeing you guys.
Nice to see you too. Thanks, Justin, for organizing.
We're Cinema D'Amore. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with news and information on upcoming episodes. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, Pandora, Alexa, or iHeartRadio. It would be greatly appreciated if you subscribe to our podcast on your platform of choice. We also appreciate feedback, so rate us, review us, and let us know what you think. And above all else, thank you for listening.